a man passing by on a motorcycle does what this man failed to do and tries to save the girl's life. And other people nearby see what's happening and immediately jump in and help to fight off the mugger. And while all of these people who are complete strangers are still fighting off the attacker, the man who she was with is still hiding behind the wall and waiting for them to take care of it. And it's only until they fight him off and push him away that this man is comfortable enough to come out of hiding and check on the woman he was with. But that doesn't last long until he gets scared and runs away again. Now, they haven't revealed the exact relationship between the two, but they clearly seem to be together, and people online are not holding back. They're saying, I hope she dumped him immediately after this. That was painful to watch him just stand there. I really hope that he wasn't her partner or even her friend. And looks like the robber would have had a better chance against the dude. Prayers to that poor woman. Let me know what you guys think, and as always, I'll keep you guys updated.
I sent y'all the original one earlier, so this is just an alternate version of it. But initial thoughts on the situation, and we'll go from there.
There's a tiny part of me that can kind of understand why he did what he did. We innately psychologically have a fight instinct and a flight instinct, and some people have more of one than the other. And people who are not skilled in self-defense don't often have, or may not have, the confidence to step into a situation like that. So it very well could have been his own understanding of his inability to participate in an effective manner. But I still think it's a bit like, come on, it's somebody that you care about. You're really just gonna, oh no, I can't do it. I'm not gonna participate. I'm gonna hide behind a wall. Like, I know minimal self-defense. My mom taught me karate. My husband has taught me jujitsu and Muay Thai, not nearly to the extent that he has, but like, if my kid was being attacked, I would viciously attack whoever was attacking my child. You'd not be finding me hiding behind a wall. But I also wouldn't know how to properly do that. So in certain situations, I might find myself stepping back and letting other people take part because I wouldn't know how to handle that situation. But I feel like as a partner, it kind of is in the same realm as a parent, where you're kind of responsible for that person. So you I mean, even if you're not going to do well, like, two people is better than one. So I still think that was very, very cowardly of him to act like that. And then to continue to hide and then run away, like, oof, not a good look.
It looks like there's some accountability issues. Not necessarily sure what happened 30 seconds prior to them hitting record. Perhaps she did some things that provoked and antagonized some people. And maybe he said, hey, stop doing that, or you might just get what's coming to you. Interested to see where this goes.
Damn, bro. You threw a whole different scenario in there. I don't expect everybody to be Superman. Put it that way. Some folks, they'll climb the side of a building and scalpel down and clean the windows. Some people will jump off the building and parachute. Some people find those type of extremes fun. I don't expect everybody to jump in front of a bullet. And I understand society expects men automatically to just throw themselves in harm's way. But realistically, you really can't predict how a person is going to respond in real time. Especially if you don't have any type of training whatsoever. And even then, if you have the training, you can't really guarantee that the person is still going to react the same way. So, that's my initial take. But I don't know if, like, I would really love to know how this was, because from what I'm understanding, it was just a robbery. Now, if you're telling me she was running her mouth and then he decided that he was going to do more, that's an entirely different conversation. I'm just addressing what I saw based off of the clip, but I'll stop there. Let me go to my first question. And I think you kind of already answered it, but I'm gonna ask anyway. Was he really wrong for how he responded?
Well, he certainly wasn't right. I mean, I guess from one standpoint, you do what you got to do to stay safe. If you know that you're not going to be capable of participating in that situation, it is pretty foolhardy to put yourself in that situation where you could potentially yourself get hurt, or your own reactions could get the other person hurt. But I mean, just from watching the interaction between her and the mugger, like, you could tell that it was definitely mugging, because he came in, it looked like he had a knife. The way he approached her, what he was grabbing at, I'm fairly certain that was a mugger and not a solicited altercation. But I mean, just from watching it, she seemed to have a reasonable hold on that situation where she was able to keep him away from her body. They did have some sort of distance between them. And that would have been the perfect opportunity for that spouse to step in and be another blockade between her and the mugger. Especially because, if I think I saw correctly, yeah, they both have backpacks on. So he could have easily turned his back and had the backpack against the mugger and his body between the girl, which would have limited the type of wounds that they would have sustained. What is happening? My computer's acting weird. I hope you can still hear me. But yeah, I think it's to me weird and very, as I said earlier, cowardly that he just kind of was like, yeah, I'm not going to participate at all. You're on your own. So yeah, I don't know if you can hear me. I hope you can, because my screen just went black, but I can still see myself, so I don't know what's happening. But yeah.
Was he wrong for how he responded, Coach?
Could you say that again?
Do you judge him for how he responded?
No, I didn't see anything that he responded to wrong. I just saw some actions. Again, I don't know what the initial cause of the situation was, so I don't even know if she had issues with how he responded, because the video kept going on, and she didn't show any ill wills or intention towards him. So it didn't seem like there was any miscommunication between the two of them.
which is actually about to bring me into my next question. Friend, or whether or not it's a friend or a partner, and you put in a life or death situation, or a situation where you expect your person to step in and help you out at least, and they don't do it. Do you look at them the same after that? Does the dynamic of the friendship or the relationship change at all?
I'll be 49 this year, and if you putting me in the shit that we got to worry about getting out of, we probably already in a bad situation. So I'm not looking to survive and be in a survival mode with somebody. If you're picking and choosing the people that you're with, there should be some type of understanding of the type of situations that you get into and how you get out of them. If you're worried about getting into a situation like that, then I'm going to say you got other issues at hand. And then if you're going to different countries, because it looked like they were in a different country, don't be the asshole tourist that goes to another country and doesn't do the research about the country that you're going to. So again, wouldn't put myself in a situation, so I'm not going to speak on a situation like that. But I would say, again, the theme and the topic of the day is about education. Educate yourself before going to another country. Educate yourself on how you can offend people in other countries. Simple things like the thumbs up or the middle finger don't necessarily mean the same thing in other countries as it does in America. So hand gestures, head nods, and little things as simple as driving. So I would say be a better person, a better human. If you're traveling to another country, educate yourself on the stupidity and the ignorance that other people have done before you go into that country, and then expect somebody to get you out of a situation.
So from what I found on the background of this video, they were in Armenia. And this video is from a bank. So they were withdrawing money when this person came after them. So yeah, definitely if you are going to go to another country, you need to be, number one, well educated about the city, where you're going to be, what to expect. Like it's not even just muggings, but people will take advantage of you if they know that you are not from that country. Because it's much easier to scam a person if you don't understand the language. They can shuffle you to, I've heard of this happening to people that I know, where they were taken into a car saying that it was a taxi. Oh, taxi. And they brought them in and they basically held them hostage in the car. And they're like, unless you pay me, you're not getting out. And I could go on about all of the different scams and situations that have happened to tourists because they were not aware of the country's customs, the country, the risks in that country. I mean, it can even happen in America, but if you're going to a different country, that's an added level of risk because, again, you don't know the culture, you don't know the language, or theoretically you won't know the language, and you won't understand as much what is normal and what is not normal, which it makes it much easier for you to be taken advantage of. Additionally, Americans stand out like a sore thumb, and so we are very easy to target just because of how we look. Especially if you're a unaware tourist, if you have not done your research, you're going to be looking around and acting like you don't know what you're doing. So you need to be doing the research so you know exactly what you're doing, where you're going to be going, how to do the things that you need to do. So you're not scrambling around and trying to figure things out while you're already there. You should have all of your ducks in a row, all the things in place, have the map and understand the different places that you're going to be going to, and know the places that you should and should not go to. For example, people in Los Angeles, they know which streets you don't go down. So it's the same thing in another country, is you need to know which sections of the cities you don't go to. And then on top of that, you should have some basic plan for protecting yourself. Even if you're in your own country, have an understanding of how you can protect yourself if you are in a situation where somebody is trying to physically harm you or take advantage of you. Whether that means you want to take lessons so you can understand self-defense, or you have some sort of weapon that you can actually handle and know how to use. Don't just carry a weapon that you just like, oh yeah, I bought this at a store. Know how to handle it. Know how to use it safely. Know how to use it in a way that will advantage you and not disadvantage you, because there's nothing worse than having a weapon and having the person attacking you take your weapon from you because you don't know how to use it. I've seen a comic that was making fun of this, actually, where the person had a gun, they held it up to the person that was mugging them, and the guy was like, hey, do you know how to pull the trigger? And the mugger was like, here, can I have that? I can show you how. And you can imagine how that went. Obviously it probably won't go like that, but you still want to make sure that you understand how you need to use whatever weapon you're choosing, whether it's your body or a weapon. What my mom always said, I think I've mentioned this before, she's a 6-degree black belt. She's been doing karate for 45, 50 years, something like that. And she's told me the only thing worse than not knowing martial arts is to overestimate your abilities and think that you know martial arts when you actually don't. Because then you will put yourself into situations that you cannot handle and end up getting yourself hurt because you think that you can do certain things that you can't. And you might end up actually hurting yourself with your own moves on that person. So yeah, when you go anywhere new, whether it's a city in your own state or a new country you've never been to before, you need to understand the customs. You need to understand the area. You need to understand the behavior that is expected from people in those areas, because even in the United States, people are going to act differently in Atlanta than they are in Seattle and different in Boston. So you have to be very aware of where you're going. And again, you need to have a plan for how you are going to protect yourself if that situation does come. And don't just assume nothing will happen, because you really never know. So you always should have a plan.
I agree with what y'all said, but my question initially was, do you look at the person the same after you've been put in a situation? And it don't matter if you're in Afghanistan. You could be at your local grocery store and something happens like this. You never really know. And you in a situation like that or worse, do you look at your partner the same? Do you still hold them to the same regard? Are they still your compadre, your ace boon coon, and this, that, and the third? Do you have the same respect for them that you did prior? You know what I'm saying? That was really what I was asking. Even though I agree with what you both said, you should be practicing better safety measures. But let's just say, this is happening in real time right now. Like every single day is something going on. And, everybody's not going to respond. Or maybe they just don't have the same awareness that you have, or the same awareness that she has.